Let's go.
I like you too, Paul. You're like a brother to me. These are the most brutal and ruthless words a man could hear from a woman he has feelings for. Now let's rewind a little bit and tell the story of how I became the man I am today. Enter Ashley. It's 11th grade AP US history, and this fine lady has caught my attention. Now this isn't the first time that a female has caught my attention, but this time it felt different. She was the most beautiful, smart, funny, kind, caring girl that I thought I had ever met. I was young and naive, and I desired the feeling of being loved. So I distinctly remember I'd be walking through the hallways in between classes. I'd see her, she'd smile and wave. My thoughts would start racing. Oh my God, does she like me? What do I say? What are we gonna name our first kid? So I decided that I wanted to start talking with her more. So I began texting her. We would FaceTime all the time. So I was thrilled. I was so happy talking with this amazing girl all the time. Then I realized I eventually had to pull the trigger and make a move. Otherwise, I would lose my opportunity. So one day after class, I approached her, took a deep breath. Ashley, I've grown to really like you. Would you maybe want to go out sometime? And there was a pause there for a second, and she had like a look of confusion, and she said, "Paul, I like you too. You're like a brother to me." So before she had even said anything, I knew what was coming. It was over for me. So I had my little moment. I wallowed in my angst and my sorrow for a little bit, and then I realized that drastic change was required in my life. If I wanted to fill this adolescent void of love and affection and my loneliness, I would have to make a change and positively improve my life. I could not continue at the rate that I was going. At that time in my life, the only two priorities I had in my day to day were homework and video games. So as long as my GPA was high enough and I could clock in a bunch of hours into all these different online multiplayer games, my life was good. All was well. So the problem with this lifestyle, unfortunately, is that I was pre-diabetic. I could not even do a single push-up. I couldn't get a mile time under 15 minutes. And my BMI was 35. So just to put that in perspective for you guys, a BMI of 40 is morbidly obese, and like just for reference, I'm 23 right now as the BMI. So just to like put that in perspective. So I was very insecure growing up, overweight. It takes a huge toll on your self-image and self-esteem. So I decided that I didn't want to continue this way for the rest of my life. I was still young. I had a whole life ahead of me. I didn't want to be concerned for the rest of my life with what other people thought of me or just in general suffering from insecurities. So as any other 21st century kid would do, I took to the internet for the solution. So immediately I was bombarded, hundreds of videos. Oh, eat this magic food, torch through fat, or do this magic workout and like 5 minute abs. So I decided, the internet's not going to work. Took inspiration from Nike's slogan, and I decided to just do it. So we all know what healthy food is, unhealthy food is. We all know exercise is good for us. So I just had to lock down, get in the zone. Started like a decent workout routine, diet routine, all of that sort of thing. Um, and then I started to, change. People started to notice. And so my motivation went from being inspired from like sadness and Ashley. And now my motivation is, oh wow, people are actually noticing these changes and complimenting me. And this was like something new to me. So for the first time, I like hadn't felt like the world was against me. I felt like, I was the author of my own reality. I created the life that I wanted to live. So with this newfound confidence and self-esteem, I was able to push my physical fitness limits to new heights. And so from zero push-ups to 50, 15-minute mile to like 7 minutes, BMI dropped down obviously to 23. So I had addressed all of these different physical fitness things that I was lacking. However, my work was not done. I had done something that I thought was completely impossible for me, which was the most daunting task I had ever set out to do for So with this, I decided that I could apply this discipline to other aspects of my life. So I began, like branching out into new social circles, joining clubs, sports, getting a job, and it made me realize that I could do anything that I want, and my life is in my own hands. I confess, however, that to this day, I'm still a hopeless romantic, despite the fact that I can now bench 245 pounds. However, as much as I wish I could give relationship advice right now, there is still something to learn from my experiences. So, as cliche as it sounds, the biggest takeaway, in my opinion, from the story I just told is to always believe in yourself and never give up. We've all heard it a million times. But truly, if I hadn't believed in myself, I would have just, gone to the default fixed mindset of, oh, like it's just not in the cards for me, or like it just wasn't meant to be. I wasn't meant to live that life. I was meant to live the life of just being overweight, like antisocial, all those things. However, I had a growth mindset, and I realized that, it's up to me and my actions only whether or not I want to live a certain way. And yeah, essentially, just my life is in my own hands. All right, so now with the story coming to an end, you all may be wondering, wow, he did all of that over a girl. But my response to that is, yeah, basically. All right, thank you.